Not often do presenters have the opportunity of meeting in person the artists we play on radio, so it's a great pleasure for me to welcome Nick Charles to GDR. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Prudence. A pleasure to be here.
By way of a tiny bit of background from me and how I came to hear about you, several months ago, a woman I very occasionally play bridge with told me she had heard Nick play at the Port Fairy Folk Festival, which led me to make contact with you. Purely a chance conversation during a bridge game, and here you are today.
Fantastic.
So, Nick, right, let's start. Where and when did your musical journey begin?
Gosh, I was hoping we weren't going to ask that one. All right. Okay, well, I've been playing guitar professionally for nearly 40 years. I started as an amateur guitar player. I started learning guitar about 1970. So I've been on the road for 40 years, really, and I feel like I've been on the road for 40 years.
Why the guitar? What was it about the guitar that interested you rather than a wind or a percussion instrument?
Well, my musical influences really started in the 60s with the Beatles and things like that. And then my sisters were into folk music big time, and it was all guitar music. So I loved everything about the guitar. I was drawn to it. I loved all the British guitar players of that era. And over those years, I've delved back into the history of the instrument and the folk roots and the country roots and blues, and it's all about guitar. I'm a guitar fanatic, basically. Always have been.
So when you discovered your love of music, your influence, was it, as you say, the Beatles, or who were you listening to? Was it one particular group, one particular artist, or one particular strain that mainly influenced you?
Well, it would have been, I guess my generation would have been the Beatles, absolutely. They were just always there playing guitars, and as a youngster, it was all about them. But really, when Prudence arrived on the scene in the late 60s, that was the moment when I decided I just had to play, the sounds, the rhythmic sounds, and lead guitar, and I discovered blues very quickly, and really got obsessed with blues, even in high school. Blues and jazz, was huge for me. Always has been, always still is. It's my, I listen to it now all the time too.
Yes. A particular artist?
Well, there are many, but the ragtime early acoustic blues players, particularly from the 20s to the 40s, was the main kind of area that I really got into. And I don't know, the names are pretty obscure to most people, but there are artists as Big Bill Broonzy, who was one. I'm a huge Big Bill Broonzy fan. Mississippi John Hurt, another one that's very important to me. Robert Johnson is the household name for blues people. They're three names that are really strong in my mind.
Are these American artists?
Oh, yeah, black American artists, yeah.
Yes.
And then the country players too. Doc Watson is a big hero of mine, as is Chet Atkins and Mel Travis, the white players. But it's very much blues-influenced music.
When did you start playing in public, and with whom? Was there a whom that you started playing with, or by yourself?
No, I started learning or teaching myself basically in 1970. I was doing my first gigs in the mid-70s. I was playing in the folk clubs around Melbourne with another guy. Actually lives about 100 yards from here, strangely enough. His name's Alex Burns, and we started playing the folk scene when there were dozens of folk clubs around Melbourne in the mid-70s. They were the first gigs I did. And then I played in bands, country bands, a lot of country music. We talked about Tamworth earlier, and I toured through there back in those days. And then I played Aboriginal rock and roll for a long time and nearly starved to death. Fantastic.
Do you write your material? And if you do, where does your inspiration come from?
Okay. Yes, most of the material I've recorded is original, and by original I mean it's there's nothing that comes out of thin air. They're all in a sense derivative. Even Paul McCartney says things like that. You're only rearranging the same notes, but Where's influence come from? Probably from listening to lots of great music. I listen to everything these days, from classical to jazz, to folk, to rock. Anywhere there's a good melody, anywhere there's an interesting lyric. And, there's just inspiration everywhere,
What was your first recorded release? And since then, how many recordings have you released?
Okay. Well, I mentioned the name before, that guy who lives not far from here, Alex Burns. We released our first album in the about 1990. It was on a jazz label called Newmarket, and that was my first commercially available album. So that's 1990. So that's 34 years ago. Oh God. Okay, it seems like yesterday. I did a few things before that, some singles and some EPs and so on. I don't even want to talk about those. So since then, I've released about 20 albums.
20 albums?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
None of which have gone platinum, I'm here to say.
There's still time, Nick.
There's still
time.
Yeah.
Now, you've toured internationally with many artists. Do you have a particular favourite, one that stands out above the others?
By touring internationally, no, I always tour internationally solo. But when I'm on tour, I have often done shows opening or being the main act with international acts as well. But in Australia, in recent years, I toured with Ralph McTell, Streets of London fame.
Yes.
Earlier on, I did a series of gigs with Guy Clark, a very famous Americana country singer. I opened for B.B. King once. I've opened for a lot of the major blues acts. But when I tour in America, which has been my main focus, before COVID anyway, it was always solo. I toured solo. And that's really it. Yeah.
And you play both 6 and 12-string guitar?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A favourite?
Well, I'm a 6-string player mostly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mostly acoustic guitar too.
Yes.
I might add.
Acoustic.
Or look, the albums that and music that you've played of mine is all acoustic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Will you continue to tour internationally?
I certainly hope so. As I've mentioned, it came to a grinding halt with COVID.
Yes.
And I'd been going to America every year for 13 years. I've done 300 or 400 shows in America.
300 or 400?
And New Zealand, hundreds of shows. I've played at the Edinburgh Festival. So I'm hoping to get back to the US, but it might be till next year. The economics are very demanding these days for touring.
Yes. Now, Nick, you do quite a lot of local performances.
Yeah, sure do.
Where can listeners learn about your performances and your up-and-coming? Where can they... Do you have a website? Or
sure do, yep.
What is that?
The website's charlesguitar.com. That's a good website. It has all my dates and it's got bios and sound grabs and images and so on. And also on Facebook, Nick Charles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The dreaded Facebook. I succumbed to it a few years ago. I just didn't want to know about it, but there's no way of avoiding it.
Well, it's good publicity for you.
Well, it's publicity. I don't know about
Yes.
good publicity, but it's publicity.
Now, Nick, I wonder if you would pick for me a particular song that you would like or a particular track that you would like, and we can finish up with that. What would you like?
Okay, the album that you've just handed me, Prudence, is my... how many albums back is this? About 4 albums back, actually. But it's one of my favourites. I think partly because of the cover. It's the cover that broke the bank, I like to say. But I think track 2, which is called A City Up on High, it's an ensemble piece with some friends that play with me from time to time. And it's instrumental, and it's on the country side of things. And there's violin and dobro, and I think I'm very proud of this particular tune.
And this is something you've written yourself?
Yes, indeed, yeah.
Well, I certainly look forward to playing it, and I know our listeners will look forward to hearing.
I hope they do.
Nick, thank you very, very, very much for coming in to see me today. Would you please just repeat that website so that our listeners can write it down?
Sure will. It's charlesguitar.com or www.charlesguitar.com.
And that gives the dates and places of your upcoming performances?
It certainly does.
That would be fabulous. Nick, thank you very much indeed. It's terrific to meet you.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.